What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant 2. We're about to have on international superstar comedian Veer Das on the podcast. But before we do that, we know on this podcast that Alex has an issue with laughing when he hears an Indian accent. So, Al, you have to promise everybody right now that you're not going to laugh when you just hear him talk.
He's already having.
That was the funniest special I've ever seen.
Al, hey, lock it up. Lock it up.
Al?
Yeah.
He met my mom, didn't laugh.
Say what?
He met my mom.
He told me about that. He was fucking dying. dude.
No. Oh, you want to talk about
Yeah,
that?
talk about that. Talk about that. Talk about that. Talk about that.
He was being very disrespectful at your wedding.
How you figure?
Very disrespectful.
How you figure?
Bro,
You know.
You dress up as a
I
pirate.
told Akash.
You did?
Yeah.
He told you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I don't remember.
You remember?
No, you wouldn't remember.
You remember?
What'd you say?
Son,
Wait, my mom?
crazy.
My mom?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Both of our moms with the hanging heavies.
What you talking about? What you talking
Sorry,
about?
not sorry. You know what I mean?
My mom not a baddie, Al?
Yeah,
My mom not a baddie to you?
I was going to
My
say
mom not a
hello, and then he's
baddie.
like,
Yes, I did say that.
Hey, respect. Respect. If you don't say the mustard, you just go, huh?
Yeah. I did do that.
All right.
Okay? You jerk. Thought you could throw me under the bus.
The mustard, huh, auntie?
Oh, we have a guest.
yes.
We have a
please.
guest here. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the podcast, Veer. You've definitely spoken on podcasts before. You know how to do the mic. We can move that to help you.
And that works.
For those of you guys who don't know, Veer Das is the most famous Indian comic in history.
Whoa.
No pressure at the start.
We've noticed this often happens with comics. If we compliment them too much in the beginning, they fall apart. They're not used to praise.
I just want to say you look like you're interviewing for a job right now. There's two Indians over here. And like,
I might be
skills do you
actually. But no, so we have to balance how we feel about the guest, oftentimes if they're stand-ups.
All right.
Right? And what would make them feel most comfortable.
you.
You can
All
move
right.
that back
Yeah,
as
yeah,
much as you want.
Put that in your mouth,
but obviously Akaash, put you on my radar. He's been talking about you for a while.
Yeah.
We're looking at your stuff. Very excited to have you here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, it was a nice like reach out. He said bhai, bhai means like brother. And like if an Indian guy calls you brother, you have to do what he asks you to do. Like,
Yeah.
that's just,
I know how to
So I was
manipulate.
like, all right, fine.
I know how to
we
game
have
you
do
guys.
this now.
Yeah.
So you're here reluctantly. This is very good to know.
No.
Al, you're doing a great job. Now, Veer, I was watching some of your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I know things about India through my best friend Akaash.
Yes.
Yeah.
He informs me a lot about this. And first thing that I'm curious to know is, you hear probably a lot of Americans talking about censorship and freedom of speech, etc.
Yeah.
Is that laughable coming from India and doing comedy in India? The things we complain that we can't say.
Like when you guys complain about Twitter being mean to you and stuff.
Or just like cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where your cancel culture is like, you could go to jail. How many lawsuits do you have against you right now?
7.
Seven. Right now, at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's 5 police complaints and like 2 lawsuits.
Yeah.
Right.
And these are for jokes.
Not a gang rapes or anything. This is just okay. Good.
Jokes
Just
about-
making sure.
Done with that. Not doing that anymore. You know,
I've moved
not
on.
talking about it.
I've
I mean,
changed.
if I go to jail, maybe, but we'll see. No, for now, done.
Okay.
No, it's. I mean, the way that I like to look at it is my country is young. You know, so just in terms of like stand up, in terms of jokes, in terms of responses to jokes, in terms of political material, we're just young.
Yeah.
So we're learning how to respond to this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I do maybe has been done here, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and it's no big deal. So I look forward to a time when some of the shit that I do is just like no big deal. It's just passe.
Got you.
You know?
Now, because of the censorship, do you feel like you're able to do the jokes that you want to do, or are you restricted a little bit?
I always start out doing the jokes that I want to do, and then the show that comes after, maybe I'll tone it down a little bit.
have to
a
toe
little
the
bit.
line.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Like any artist who comes in here with like a sense of like false bravado, like no man, I'm fucking absolutely no, because things like that affect more than just you.
Yes.
Like they affect your family who maybe didn't sign up for that ride.
Yeah.
You know, so
Would they come after your family for jokes?
Yeah, I think so. Like I got into trouble like last year a little bit, and then you get death threats, and it's not just you, it's your wife, and it's your family, and it's a couple of other people as well.
What was the joke?
I did a video at the Kennedy Center called
Two Indias.
I watched that.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was fun. It was a fun week in my life.
What were they upset about that?
Just that I was kind of doing stuff abroad and talking about duality in the country.
Yeah.
So I was like the #1 trend in the country for a week.
Oh, wow.
I was called a terrorist on the news. It's a fun conversation with your mom that evening. So
Now, did you know this? So I've seen.
Well, this is a lighthearted start to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh
Now,
shit.
now we're gonna have fun. Look, we talk about you, Raven.
Yeah.
People will do this a lot. We'll get it in there.
Yeah.
We'll get it in there.
We have a terrorist on the podcast.
Now,
It's so exciting.
In your city next week.
Did you know that was coming when you did? Because here's the thing I've noticed. First of all, watching For India, your most recent Netflix or second most recent Netflix, I realized I'm American. Because when you were talking about, there's these 5 things every Indian knows. I didn't know none of that shit. And so I see why Indians look at me and they're like, you're not Indian.
Akaash did say that. He was like, dude, I feel so white right now.
I feel so white. Like you talked about the thing that every Indian, I never taken that shit in my life.
Also, you put people in different sections, Akaash was telling me.
Yeah, you had a white section, which
Yeah,
was
white
fire.
section.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a good
my
idea?
own like Rosa Parks kind of this
It's
thing,
kind
right?
of good, right?
Yeah,
It's like fun and everybody gets along and it's
Relive
like
segregation. Yeah, that's
but
fun.
it was equal. It was separate, but it was equal. Yeah.
We put like white people in a row and then we lit them up every time we spoke to them. So they felt
We
nice.
deserve the spotlight.
Absolutely. Wherever you are, you deserve the spotlight.
Yeah,
Is-
100%.
is how
It's
I go.
about us, man.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why the American embassy in India is technically American land.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys know that? Like anywhere you go in the world,
Yeah, of
the
course.
American embassy.
Is
Well,
American.
isn't that every embassy?
No, I don't think so. I think just the American embassy is considered American. I don't think
Let's
the Portuguese
if-
embassy fucking cares. They just
No,
like, we live
because
here.
that's why they can't get that guy
Snowden.
out. No, it's not
Not
Snowden.
Snowden.
The other guy,
uh,
Assange.
Julian
Julian
Assange.
Assange.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
in
at
like the El
Ecuador.
Salvadorian embassy or something like that, which
Is
I feel
he
like
El
you could get in there.
Salvadorian?
No, but they just gave him Bitcoiner. Yeah, I think they gave him Bitcoin, right? Isn't Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador?
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're big on it.
Yeah, guys, get a little more culture, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Here-
color would you make the lights for them?
For El Salvadorians?
Yeah.
Bright.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm in so much trouble already. No,
Let's go, baby.
But so here's one thing I was going to say. In my parents' generation, especially conservative Indians, they don't like Indians talking about any bad stuff in India. You should always present India in the best light. I think their feeling is we get enough shit from this guy talking about me raping people all the time.
Yeah.
Or you rape, you know what I mean? Like, so you should only present the good things. So writing that, if I'm you, I assume you know hell is coming.
No, I knew that. Firstly, it's kind of weird that what I said would happen in the video happened right after the video, right?
Right.
So that's one. But like, I can only explain this in a way that comics understand. Like, there's a piece of paper in my hand, and the reason it's there is because I wrote it at 7 a.m. and I did it at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, so it's new material. You know, and you're doing it at the Kennedy Center, which is a bad idea. But you know, it's still something new that you just kind of feel. And
But you filmed that shit like you knew it was something. You had looking at the fucking balcony out the window, like you knew this was gonna go.
Turn the camera on them.
Yeah,
But guys,
Yeah.
you've done enough shit on your own and put it up on YouTube where you know you can't predict when something's going to be a conversation. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I put something out and it turned into a conversation. And you kind of have to humbly accept all the feedback that comes your way. Would I do it differently? I would wait a little bit more. Like I'd workshop it a little bit more. But no, I'm not going to let anybody tell me how to express my love for my country.
That's
Ever.
beautiful.
You
Yeah.
know? So it boils down to something as simple as that.
Now here's one thing I don't know if you guys know. Veer was an actor, like was a comic first,
Yeah.
but then
In
could
Bollywood?
have was a Bollywood actor. Was in a movie called Delhi Belly, which is a big movie in 2010. It broke some people.
Is Bollywood crazy or what?
It's the biggest industry in the world.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm
it's-
asking.
Like it's 9 films a weekend. Like nobody makes movies like we do. This is so for years.
How much does a
right?
movie cost? Like
Cheap.
It's cheap, but like what I love is like for years everybody was like, you know, Bollywood movies are too long and they're unrealistic and you have like ridiculous costumes and now every movie's a fucking Marvel movie which is 3 hours long
Yeah.
in unrealistic costumes
Yeah.
where somebody's avenging a father's death and jumping off a fucking ceiling. Like Marvel is just Bollywood. That's all it is.
Yeah, or maybe vice versa. Yeah. I think Marvel's been around since like the 40s, right?
Not making
But not
movies though.
movies though. Like Marvel movies are like 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah, Marvel movies. Yeah, this iteration of Marvel movies that we're seeing is just Bollywood without the songs, is what he's saying. It's 3 hours long. It's all fight scenes that are ridiculous. Now, in
Fucking
Bollywood
Iron
movies,
Man is Shah Rukh Khan. That's all that shit
but they don't
is.
say Shah Rukh Khan got superpowers. That's just how he operates, flipping over 18-wheelers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is different. But what... To me, to have that...
Stop talking about Marvel right now. I'm feeling away. Like, I can't let that. Yo, I can't let that. And you just sitting there taking it, bro.
I was trying to be
Come
polite.
on, nah, cut it out. Yo, come
bro.
on, stop acting. Marvel's copying Bollywood, bro.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
I like
here.
there's 2 Indians that actually push back on you now.
Hey,
I like that.
2 Indians. That's this special. That's this
Which
special.
India are you from, bro? No, come on, man. Marvel is copying Bollywood?
Yeah.
Yes.
How so?
It's Bollywood with capes. That's it.
They don't all have capes,
I
bro.
love this, dog.
Son,
Wait a minute, Al, but give some pushback. You're very familiar with
I
Bollywood.
haven't seen a single dance routine in a Marvel, so I ain't counting that.
Yeah, we don't do the dancing, dude.
Decent point.
We
Spider-Man
just fight.
3.
It's maybe because you don't know how. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just
Ow!
saying. Like, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. You're black and Puerto Rican. That's double.
Fire.
He might have a point because
Fire.
that shit was fire. Like they hit moves.
Yeah,
They hit
you
moves,
guys can
yeah.
dance, fine.
War
But
Machine
whatever. Our
looks diff-
superheroes don't have
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to dance. We're saving the fucking world. There's no time to hop around and shit.
Maybe the world wouldn't be in danger if you guys dance more. I'm just saying.
Fuck this guy, dude. How do we let him in?
I'm not backing down,
Go
guys.
back
Like,
to your country.
I will in 3 weeks when my visa expires.
Wait a minute. Is that how y'all see our shit? Because this is American arrogance. We think, well, I mean, it is called Bollywood. You're
Yeah.
naming it
Yeah.
after Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
We don't
hop
like
off
that
dick
term
for
so
a
much.
second. You know what I'm saying? Y'all call that shit Bollywood. Respect the goats.
I feel like you guys finally
yet.
caught up to what our movies are about.
Say again.
I feel like you guys finally
We
caught up
can't
to what our
copy off.
movies.
Y'all copied us.
Look, a
what
movie-
language do your movies they speak?
Like 26 different languages, right?
But majority
Hindi.
Exactly. Exactly, dude.
in India,
Yeah.
most people go and see a movie. Like this is their one thing that they get to do each week, right? So
Yeah.
like you got your wife and your kids and you go out and you see one movie.
Yeah.
And that's like your entertainment for the entire week. If you show that guy Spotlight, he's going to fucking kill himself that week, right? So it needs to be like escapist and huge and big and
Yeah.
like cathartic and just an out of body experience. And you guys finally caught up to that's what movies is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's why you go to a theater.
You think that we just figured out escapism in
yeah,
film?
absolutely.
Yeah, we never escaped before.
No,
I mean, we never had fantasy.
No, but like so far, your escapism has been the news, right? That's just in terms of that's where you get your fiction. I'm just saying.
Yes, it is fiction, but I don't feel like it's escapism. News is like.
Now, to be fair, you can't insult American news as
It's
an
true.
Indian.
Yeah.
why is your news fun?
It's
It's a government controlled.
I watch
hilarious.
one guy's news, YouTube, Indian YouTuber. He's fucking great.
did you see
TGIF? No, that's different.
That's
TFI Global? TFI Global or
I don't
something like
know.
that? Indian YouTuber, and he does it in English, and he also does it in Hindi, and this guy's fucking awesome.
I'll
and
check it out.
everything
No
is
idea
just
what
China
that is.
sucks. And
I like that.
Every headline is like, Modi emasculates Xi Jinping on the global stage. And I'm like, let's fucking go. It's Indian Alex Jones. That's the guy I fuck.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
I don't know.
TFI Global sounds like a hedge fund that steals money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, say something about that. Did you guys invent hedge funds too?
How are you defensive about hedge funds? Like that,
Anything American here,
Hedge
there's
funds are
one America, and it's all good.
True. Yeah.
Here's what I
No,
want.
hedge funds might be fucked
Here's
up.
what I want to ask you though. Why would you leave Bollywood for stand up? Is that just like that's what it had to be?
I had a moment where I just kind of fell in love with stand up again. Like just like
When did you start stand up? You're
2006, 2007, really. But like when we started, there was no like clubs in India, right?
yeah.
So we
India.
had
They
to-
say stand up started December 09.
Yeah. So like what
wow.
we had to do, which is just ridiculous, you had to book out a theater and then you had to go up with like 90 minutes of new material because they paid for an evening, right? So you're just like blah, 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 and, like no dynamics, just fucking yelling for 90 minutes to figure out what's funny and what's not. And so I kind of just did that for like 4 years until
Yeah.
the scene came around. And then I think it was two things, right? One, I just fell in love with stand-up again. I had like a good moment on stage and I was like, I feel more fulfilled by this than the last
Acting.
6 things that I've done. And then I did a really shitty movie and like nobody wanted to work with me anymore for like three years. And I was like, I'll just do the stand-up thing again. So started taking it seriously, I want to say 2011, 12. Like that's when I was like, let's go.
Now, real quick question about Bollywood. I've been told that there's a lot of nepotism in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar to, I don't know how similar. I mean, it happens in America, obviously, as well. But like, is it the only way in is if you're part of the family or if you're close to the family? Or can the average person get a role?
I'm 5'8", showed up in Bombay with one suitcase. If I get to be in a movie, anybody gets to be in a movie.
So you didn't have any family that was involved?
Nothing.
He's lying about 5'8". He's like, he ain't no 5'8". He ain't no 5'8". Let's keep it a buck here. Yeah. I love this guy, but he ain't no 5'8".
Yeah. Tell him.
All right. That's God telling me I'm making a mess. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so it's possible that the average person could go out there and get a role.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it takes longer. You'd have to audition. It's definitely a step up, but yeah, I'm not going to deny that there isn't nepotism. There's a lot of nepotism
in every industry.
Yeah.
We just get this one version of Bollywood, and again, I'm going to get like the most distilled version of it. So it's just going to the craziest things that I hear. But yeah, my understanding was that it was like a family thing, and like.
Not so much. I mean, there's like talented kids who are coming in from everywhere. What I always kind of balance that out with is, I feel like there's more expectations of fairness in like entertainment industries than any other industry. Like if a banker like hired his own kid, or if somebody else hired his own kid, you'd be like, all right, he's just putting his family into what he does. But then suddenly, because it's entertainment and everybody kind of feels like they could be a movie star as well and had a shot, you're like, no, everybody should get an equal shot, including myself, like secretly.
See, that's interesting.
Because I always hear nepotism. As an NRI, I always hear nepotism. It's always family. I
mean, there's like a big league of Bollywood, which is the A-list, and that is, you have to be a star kid to be in that. But then there's 9,000 movies right below that, which are slightly cheaper but equally entertaining, and you get to be in those. So yeah,
I just look at like
so at the highest level, it is nepotism.
But there is opportunity to potentially rise. I guess I kind of view it the opposite when it comes to business, because like business can be so cutthroat, right? In America, like if you're working for a bank or if you're working for a hedge fund or something like that, it's like you have to increase the profits of the shareholders, and oftentimes the best person to increase the profits of the shareholders is not your son and daughter.
Yeah.
It might be a CEO from India, right? Who come in and do it. And the problem with my fucking Knicks is if you literally look at the board for the New York Knicks, who haven't won in 50 years, it's everybody's last name is Dolan.
Same with the Dallas Cowboys.
James Dolan. Okay. And I think nepotism is the problem.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the 5 people who are best at increasing shareholder profits all just happen to be from the same family.
I know, but there's a big like Indian tradition of putting your kids into the family business. So I think you have to kind of strike a middle ground between that.
It's
which
looked
is
at like almost like if you have a farm or if you have like a
you
restaurant.
would hire your kids. Like that's what we do. It's in our culture to put our kids into our business. So I'm not defending nepotism, right? It's definitely an easier way to get into a movie.
Yeah.
And on Friday, whatever the fuck happens with your movie happens. Like on Friday, nobody can save you, right? Whoever your dad is, or whoever your mom is, on Friday, if you suck, and you're not getting another movie. So there is that. But I don't begrudge a father or a mother the desire to put their kid in.
Nepotism is the shit. I love nepotism.
Yeah.
I think I pronounced it like you. No, I love nepotism, and I love parents looking out for their kids. I see like Will Smith putting his kid in shit and like giving them that opportunity. Yes. Anybody in that situation would do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the people who aren't able to be in that situation who oftentimes go, hey, this is unfair. And yeah, maybe it's unfair, but you might be in that situation. You would absolutely do it.
You were in a movie with a Bollywood kid, Imran Khan. And now, you're doing much better than him. Do you ever want to laugh at that motherfucker?
No. He's a great guy.
Hey,
he's the nicest guy in Bollywood.
Bum.
He really is.
Hey, bum. What you doing? Nothing?
But he's just one of those guys where like you can put a camera on him in any angle at any time of day and he fucking looks good. You ever meet those people who just the camera loves at all times?
Me.
He's just one of those guys. What's up, absolutely. So yeah, he's not acting anymore, but he's directing soon. Like directing
that's
something
what you
big.
say when you fail as an actor. But the point is,
What do you have against this guy? What do you have against
he was
this guy?
mean to my friend's friend, so fuck him.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm talking
He was
about,
mean
bro.
to your friend's
Yeah,
friend?
yeah.
Fuck him.
What did he do?
He was mean to my friend's friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah. That's how things work over here.
He's up.
Choose a side, dog.
Anyway, let me ask you this. What's going on with comics going to jail in India? Because I'm here and it seems so fucked up.
Yeah. For jokes they didn't do.
Yes.
So
I
Manal
heard he
Farooqi.
went to jail for taxes.
Munawar?
What's happening?
No, man. They showed up and said he hurt religious sentiments and put him in jail, and then red tape and bureaucracy kind of kept him in there for a month.
And there's 4 comics that went to jail. Munawar Faruqi is the kid's name.
Nalin.
Muslim comic.
Yeah.
They said he made a joke. He went to jail. And then the 4 comics that were with him on that show also went to jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like you're in a country where you can go to jail, and then this is what Andrew was kind of alluding to, and you walk up to this line and you say what you can get away with, and then you pull back.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? Is that dangerous, or are you just not in jail because you're not Muslim?
I have the most privilege that you can get as a comic in India. I'm an English-speaking Hindu, upper caste, heterosexual man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get better than that. So
Yeah.
if I'm not going to talk about stuff, who is?
Yeah.
There are many comics who don't have the privilege that I do, or can't afford the legal team that I do. Like I got sued by lawyers for lawyer jokes 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I went to high court to defend lawyer jokes. So like Munawar doesn't have it even 5% as easy as I do.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of what it is right now. But hoping for better days,
I was watching. I forget which bit it was. It was about the gay stuff. There, you're like, we have 1.2 billion people.
Yeah.
Like it was like anal and oral is illegal, and you're like, we have 1.2 billion people. We need to be advertising this stuff. It was a great idea. Yeah. Can you explain like what happened from like writing the Bible of sex to being like the Kama Sutra is the Bible of sex, right? This is like, hey, we figured out sex. This is the best.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that. And then now where it's like sexuality is kind of scrutinized. Does it even exist in the same way? Like is that just British influence? Like,
no, I mean, what happened was a billion people. Like
and then it was too much and you had to go.
And we had a lot of people come out of that. But I don't think we're as sexually repressed as people think we are. Like we're actually a very sexual country. That head nod was creepy. I shouldn't have done that while I said that. But like, I realized it as it came out. I was like, that was wrong. It was a bad move. But I find like sometimes Indians here are far more conservative than Indians back home. I don't know if you've experienced that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
my parents brought over in India from 1970 that they raised
and have
us
stuck
with.
to that version.
And that's what I thought India was. And then I go to India and my cousins are wilding. And I'm like, y'all are more American than I am.
fucking? Your cousins are fucking?
Yeah. They're fucking, they're drinking, they're smoking, they're doing
Really?
everydon't.
Female
right
cousins?
now. There's people fucking
No, they
while
don't.
watching
They're not
this
allowed.
podcast.
They're not allowed.
Yeah.
But my male cousins will talk to me about this shit openly.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yo, you guys are living way crazier than me.
Where are your cousins? Like, where in India?
Delhi,
Nice.
mainly. So yeah, those kids are crazy.
Man, can I say, like, here's what I loved about your special. Because
hey,
it was it was great. But what I loved was, like, there are 5 roads that an Indian, what do you call an Indian from here? Like a second generation American? Is
Mexican?
That
Mexican? We call them Mexicans. Yeah, mostly.
so a Mexican from here.
Terrorist, one of those two.
Terrorist and a Mexican. There's a show. There are 5 roads that an Indian comic can go down, and you chose none of them. Like you chose just 5 different roads. It was very cool to see.
I didn't even realize I did that, but thank you.
No, man, like you didn't use the accent too much, which I thought was
Only because
like,
I'm not good at it. If I was good at it, I would be exactly what Russell Peters is.
What? No,
I would copy his act word for word.
So, like, what I love about Russell Peters, a lot of people don't talk about that.
Guys, infamous tour news. Cleveland, let's just be honest. It's not working. It's not working between us. I don't really want to go to you. You don't really want to come to me. I think this is really a you issue, not a me issue, frankly. We've sold out every fucking show on this tour for, I don't know, maybe over a year now. We have one city where there's seats remaining. It just so happens to be fucking Cleveland. Like anybody wants to go there in the first place. LeBron wouldn't even stay and he's from there. Who the fuck do you think you are taking your sweet ass time to come to my show? Okay? All I'm trying to say is I've already agreed to do this show, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to do it reluctantly. I don't give a fuck about you and your fat mom missing teeth. What? Your mom wears white T-shirts to the bank with mustard on them.
What is this?
Okay? Your mom wears Crocs unironically. Okay? Your mom got an abortion in her neck.
Okay. What is this? Is this a reference?
Your mom has a thyroid issue. Your mom has a thyroid issue, and she smells like it. Your mother smells like a thyroid issue. Okay, Cleveland? I'm coming. There's a few tickets left, which is insulting. Because we know there's nothing better to do. What are you going to do in Cleveland that day? Huh? You're just going to bounce ping pong balls over your mother's swollen neck?
What does that mean?
Huh? Cleveland, we'll see you soon. We'll also see Pittsburgh. Montreal sold out. New York City, we had his second show. We'll see you there. Atlantic City sold out. Vancouver, we had his second show. And then that's it. Those are the last shows for the Infamous Tour. We'll see you soon. Love you, Cleveland.
Guys, I got shows in San Antonio tomorrow. I wasn't that excited about them, but I have to pretend to be now because what can you do to offset that energy? So Friday through Sunday, my Sunday shows are actually in San Antonio, not Toledo, thank God. But 18th through 20th, LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio. April 1st and 2nd, I'm at the Funny Bone in Toledo, Ohio. April 8th and 9th, the Improv in Tampa. And of course, the Royal Theater in Toronto. And this is important, guys. There are no vax requirements anymore whatsoever. No vaccine requirement, no negative test, no dumb shit. Just come through. Let's laugh. Let's have fun. Tickets for these shows and more at AkashSingh.com. Now let's get back to the show.
March is here and the madness has officially begun. It's time for you to shoot your shot and score big on the nonstop action with MyBookie. Predict winners in each round of the MyBookie bracket contest for a chance to win a Bitcoin. Yes, that's right, a Bitcoin, okay? A doodle NFT currently valued at over $50,000 and over $100,000 more in cash prizes. Whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting the national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Sign up today with MyBookie and use the promo code Flagrant to make your first deposit, earning a free entry into the My Bracket contest. Selections for the bracket will officially begin on March 13th. That's March 13th. They close on March 17th at 12 p.m. So make sure you get your deposit in now with Flagrant. That promo code is Flagrant to secure that free entry. Remember, bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Now let's get back to the show.
Like, what I love about Russell Peters, a lot of people don't talk about that, but like, he's done it the best that anyone will ever do it.
Yes.
And he's the only
Can't be done
comic I've
again.
ever seen where whenever he used the Indian accent, the accent was saying something funny.
Yes.
The accent had power over the other person in the act out.
Yeah.
And any other comic that I've seen, like, the accent is always the underdog.
Yeah.
And Russell gave that accent power. So
Yeah.
like, you got to give that respect where it's due in terms of nobody's done it better, I think.
And this is what I used to say about like comedy. Like I have actor friends who are brown and think they're on some woke shit. And they're like, I won't do an audition with an accent. And I'm like, yo, your parents have that accent. What's wrong with that? If the joke is funny without the accent is just your funny uncle. We all have that uncle saying wild shit or whatever. If the jokes are all making fun of the accent or making fun of my culture, then I'm not into it. Then I'm not going to do it. What are you saying with that accent?
I mean, sometimes I meet actors from here and they're like, I don't want to play a taxi driver or whatever. And my response is always like, what taxi driver? Are they getting into his family? Does he have something to say?
Yeah.
Like, is it going beyond that? And also, like, I mean, Bollywood is like the biggest film industry in the world. Like, for 80 years, the only role we've ever given a white guy is like evil Western oppressor, right? That's the only role. Like, every line is just kill the Indian dogs. Like, so where are we complaining about, like, you know, just layers and this stuff? But I think we're getting beyond that, where it's not just like taxi driver. It's taxi driver with a family, has something to say, has a voice, has all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I hope.
No, I agree with that. Now, do you ever, do you do accents in your, like, when you're getting an audition, you and I audition for the same show? Whiskey Cavalier, the one you got. And I remember I talked to you. You weren't that nice to me. And no, it was fine.
Let's go. Yo, maybe no one likes you initially. Yo,
it might be me. It might be me.
It might be you.
It might be me.
Everybody's a dick when they first meet you.
It might be me. Maybe I expect too much. You know what I mean? May expect good manners. I don't know. But the point is,
wait, what did he say that was rude?
No,
this is great.
No. I just went up to him and I was like, "Yo, man, I'm a big
Indian
fan."
man with green eyes.
And
no.
Exactly.
We see an Indian man with green eyes. We're like, there's a white guy trapped inside.
I think I was actually just bitter because I went in there and I was nice to you and you were nice back. But then I went in there and sometimes you go to an audition and it's very clear they're just doing this as a formality and they know who they want. And the second I saw you and went in there and they gave me that energy, I was like, I know they want this motherfucker, this son of a bitch. And then you got the role. So my gut was right. They wanted you. And I was probably just like angry about that.
No, that show worked out really well. You really missed out, man. You missed living in Prague for 6 months in -7 degrees Celsius.
Oh, really?
And then everybody will, nobody's watching it? Okay, fine. We'll go back into the cold and shoot some more episodes right now. So,
now, when you do an accent or when you do an audition, though, do you try to do the American accent or do you just keep your shit?
I ask them what they want and it makes them uncomfortable. That's what. So I'm like, I have an Indian accent. Would you like this in an American accent? And then all of them are like, just you do you, whatever you like.
That means they want the accent, but they don't want to sound racist.
My favorite one was I had so Gabriel Iglesias had a sitcom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
We all auditioned for that, I think.
So,
Yeah.
so I think they saw my headshot and thought I was Mexican, right? So I walked into the thing and there's just like a lot of Mexican guys there.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I was like, I'm from Mumbai. Would you like me to do it in this accent or the American accent? And they're like, no, just do you. Whatever just comes naturally, do that. So I did the audition in this accent and they're like, could you do a Mexican accent? So I've never done a Mexican accent before in my life. So now I'm just being racist really on it. So I'm just like, hey, man. Like just a bad Mexican accent.
Yeah.
And didn't get it, but they thought I was Mexican.
Probably killed in the room though.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I want to hear you do the audition in a Mexican accent. Yeah, like that I think is
I should do all auditions in a Mexican accent.
100%. I'm still on this Kama Sutra thing. I don't get it. Why do we all not use it?
The Kama Sutra?
Yeah.
Have you read it?
I didn't know it had words. I thought it was pictures. I didn't know you could actually read it.
I haven't either. I'm just going to be honest.
Yo, it's crazy, right? Like there's a book that clearly created 1.2 billion people.
Yeah.
Right? It is the best fuck positions ever.
But they're like impossible. My dad had a
They're not
copy.
a-
G's up.
Stop.
Say-
Your dad had a copy.
You're about to
your
say.
dad-
You're about to say.
But
It's
they also
not
have, like,
impossible.
It's not
names, like-
impossible.
Bro, you are only on your back.
There's back positions. Look at that one right there. Look at that. Reverse
It's
goat
not
girl.
impossible.
Look at the
Can't go cowgirl, bro. No disrespect, man.
second. The
I think
second
they call
one
it
on the
doggy
left.
style the Congress of the Cow. Like,
Oh, really?
I think I could be wrong about that, but I'm definitely sure that's one.
fire.
The
instance.
Congress of the Cow.
fire. Congress of the
Okay.
Cow.
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how this doesn't have more cultural importance. It's almost like a punchline now. This is the book. You guys figured it out. Clearly, it works.
Yeah.
Let's go. When are we getting back to this? Right?
You don't have the energy for none of this. What are you talking about?
That's a young man's game, bruh.
Exactly.
But I want to be able to, I want to be able to teach the young man. No, but like,
Why
come
don't you
on.
guys do like what you did with yoga with this shit, right? Like have like beer and goats and shit like that, and then have Kama Sutra
Do
classes.
you guys have goat yoga there?
No,
Right?
no. We don't do that to
We have
goats
goat
or
meat
people.
over there.
That's mutton.
We have
Fuck
goat
yes.
meat over there.
you go.
Goat meat, you
Yeah,
guys have.
yeah.
Yeah. No, goat yoga's fire. Don't judge it
What
till you
is
try
goat
it.
yoga? So they put
you
a-
do yoga, right? And then there's goats
You have
there.
sex with a goat.
Yeah, and you
It's
fuck
very
it.
simple.
You fuck a goat.
You fuck it, dude. You fuck a goat, dude. You fuck a goat. Y'all
Scottish
eat a
yoga.
goat? That's what y'all do?
Wow.
Welcome to Scotland, my
Yeah.
boys.
That's barbaric. Barbaric to eat a
You never
goat.
see that tagline, right? Goat yoga, fuck a goat.
Fuck a goat. No, we did goat yoga before, man. You gotta try it. It's just yoga with goats. Goats are great.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do know yoga. Like I know more white people who do yoga than I do yoga.
Really?
Yeah.
So y'all don't do any of the good shit that you made.
No, that's a valid
Real
criticism.
talk, like
Yeah.
embrace your culture, bro.
Yeah,
Stop
that's
trying to steal our movies. Like, stop. Don't steal our movies. Stop trying to steal our tech jobs. Just do your shit. Fuck awesome. What is the other thing?
Goat yoga, apparently.
Goat yoga,
Yeah.
or just regular yoga if you want. Pilates, is that from you guys?
No.
Kama Sutra.
Karma Sutra, that was
yeah.
the fuck awesome thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What other
I
stuff?
missed that. I only heard.
No,
that
there is a
about
thing we do where we'll get
Ain't no way you
embarrassed.
could do Karma Sutra after eating your food. That's why you know that shit is cap. Come on, bro.
Nah, Indian food at the house is different than Indian restaurant food.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, you've eaten at our house. It's not, you didn't walk out feeling
This,
like that.
this shit that we
Akaash.
serve that doesn't exist in houses.
Akash. Akash,
It's spicier.
Yeah. It's the same. It's better when your mom makes it.
Yeah.
And even better when your aunt makes it.
Yeah.
But
Is his aunt hot or is
No,
that
this is inside. This is inside.
my
single fam-
Mosi is the best cook in the family, and my mom knows this. She just settled.
But for some reason, he told me before I went to go eat with it. He was like, "My mom's good, but my aunt's way better." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why are you giving me this information? Don't tell me this before I go in here. Already
Yeah,
judging the food."
To be honest,
But there's like chicken tikka masala. Like that's not a thing. Like
that's
we
not,
just
it's a English food.
it's an English food that we just make, and like every Indian restaurant in the world sells that shit.
It's all English food. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. For now. Give us 10 years.
So chicken tikka is complete.
No, it's
Made up.
it's made for like British people.
Yeah.
That's why there's like mad cream in it.
Is
and
that
stuff
General
like
Tso's chicken? And that basically the General
Pretty
Tso's
much.
chicken of India is chicken
Yeah.
tikka masala. So what is the real Indian dish?
Sex.
that. Dal.
yeah.
Dal.
Dal?
Yeah, that's it.
Rogan Josh.
is like regional. Like that's Kashmiri food. So that's like North Indian stuff. But like dal, bhindi.
Bhindi
Like
is,
vegetables is like a
okra.
good vegetable, like okra, this thing.
Yeah.
And then biryani, I think, is like...
Biryani's big. When I would go in India, they would have 3 meals. Every meal was the exact same. It was aloo, which is potatoes, seasoned, cooked, whatever. Roti, which is the bread.
Yep.
And dal and chal and the rice. That's it. That's all I ate every meal.
And a paratha. You gotta have a paratha.
Yeah.
That's just like a stuffed bread thing with like curd and pickle. Yeah.
We didn't even have that.
At all? Like,
We ate it, but no. I got the same shit 3 meals a day, every day.
How'd that feel?
Yo, dead ass, I didn't like potatoes. And then after I ate it enough, I was like, I was tripping.
Potatoes are kind of lit.
Yeah. I didn't like aloo. I was like,
Where'd you guys
never-
get potatoes from?
Oh God.
Ireland?
Oh.
Did we? I don't think so.
100%. White people brought potatoes to India. Before that, you were just eating slop.
wow.
It's true. And then
There was just like an entire Indus Valley full of slop. And then white people showed up and they were like, we bring this.
Exactly.
And in return, we want
Mop it
everything
up a
else
little.
you have.
Give us some jewels, you get
Yeah.
some potatoes. It seems like a fair trade.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I think that's what happened.
It is.
We gotta mop up the slop a little bit. We need some potatoes.
That's what we
need
do with the
something else.
roti. That's what that bread is for.
I know, but eventually you get tired of all the bread. Right? Al, you know this too. You studied that region. You studied most of Asia. What are you talking about? You told me that.
How is it every time you're just going to this guy for
I know,
everything
right?
Indian? You're like,
It's like your show. We have a spotlight on the color. I just want our fans to understand and our supporters to understand what's going on in India, where the food came from, where the culture came from.
it's all you guys.
It's us,
Yes,
dude.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why we're taking all your jobs.
Yes!
And all your brides.
'Cause-
And all your technology.
Talk about
I'm
it.
sorry, did this get more aggressive than it planned to? I'm sorry.
Talk about it.
Now, how is that criticized? Like when Indian dudes have like a white wife? Is that
Like
criticized in
reverse
India?
colonialism?
Yes.
No.
It's
It's
celebrated, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Now,
That's
what
why
about Indian
I don't do
women? Wait, go on.
That's I don't. To me, that's whack. That it's so celebrated to
Yeah.
not marry an Indian girl and marry a white girl or whatever. And that's part of why I shit on white women so much, because it's just like somebody needs to not do that. Somebody needs to be like, yo, our women are beautiful. Why are you sitting here celebrating this outside race just because you had this complex? Let's get over that. As a
Also, do you know like a lot of like
Brown
white
wife, by
girls
the
will
way.
meet a brown
Oh,
guy
you
and
got a
then just
brown
be
wife?
more Indian than the guy? Like in 1 month, the white girl is like more Indian than anybody in the family. Have you seen that?
Oh,
like
they're
she knows everything about the
Yeah, yeah,
culture.
yeah.
She
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Trying to show respect. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey,
Cultural appropriation a little bit as well. I just want to say, just a little bit, just a little
little
bit.
pandery, right?
Yeah.
Hey, a little pandering ass bitch. Fuck out of here, dog. Take that shit somewhere else. You
Yeah.
can beat us some fucking Frankfurters.
Just be white.
Stupid ass
Be
bitch.
white. It's why we met you. Be white.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Be proud. Be
they're,
white.
They're ruining the thing that you like. Right? You want to parade around the white girl. You don't want the bindi and the fucking
I want the bindi. I have a brown
they
wife.
want- they want
I
the
the
No,
bindi, yeah.
if you get the white wife.
They want the skin and the
I don't
white
want a
babies.
white wife.
No, hypothetical
It's too much
situation.
conversation. It's
The
too
people
much,
that
yeah.
do.
The people who, the people who want,
Wait. Actually, go back. Go. This is fun. Yeah. Wait. Why don't you want the white wife? Because
Talk
I'm
about
about
your
to relate
feelings
to you.
all the time.
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
communicate. You have to do all of that stuff.
All the
like just throw a
communications.
plate against the wall. What is this?
Yeah.
All these feelings.
That seems aggressive, but yeah.
It's too much communication
Say again. It's too much communication
from my end.
from your end.
Yeah, my wife communicates. I just listen. That's it. That's how this
Oh,
works.
but the white women expect you to talk back.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Didn't you just get married? Aren't you learning this stuff as well?
I am learning these things,
Like
but
communication?
I kind of just vent,
yeah.
and then she just takes it all in, and then it's kind of like the Black Panther costume. Like eventually
fills up.
it fills up, and then she uses it back against me. Yeah, but it doesn't happen in the moment. It just builds, and
She
then
absorbs the
explodes.
power.
Exactly. It's like Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you went without interruption.
Yeah.
I think you're an Indian woman.
That's why I want the Karma Sutra. Okay. Now, are Indian women allowed to date white guys?
Yeah, and like back home, no problem. Depending on where you are, Delhi or Bombay and all of that. Bangalore.
Would the Indian men be like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on over here? Like, haven't you
I
made
can't
enough
answer
of our people good looking?"
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Hey, who am I to complain? Who am I to complain?
Hit him with a wink.
Yeah, funny Jay Shetty.
That motherfucker, that motherfucker is pretty.
I heard you don't like Jay Shetty.
I just do a joke about him.
Why? Just because he steals all his stuff? Who cares?
Does he steal all his stuff?
Well, that's you know. There's
Well, yeah. Let's talk about beef. Yeah, beef is fun.
I mean, that's the bit. It's just like he gets respect because we feel like there's a white guy trapped inside him. Like, just trying to get out.
You don't think he's just a fine ass dude?
Jay Shetty?
Nah, that motherfucker's fine.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's he's fine. Dog.
Yeah, I mean that guy's literally shaved the beard. His mouth could get worked.
Oh my god.
Step it up, bro.
Son, he's fine.
Have you seen a single Instagram video
Of him?
Of him?
Show me an Instagram video of him.
Because it's all, there are two ways and there's a right way and a wrong way. You pick your way. Bye. Just like, what? Like, it's very obvious spirituality.
Hold on. Yeah, that sounds like some hating, bro. You did a 2 Indias. You did a whole 2 Indias. I think we got some hate going on.
Yeah.
Why?
He's jealous because.
Why are you trying to divide brown men though?
Say again.
You're
I want to put them in little systems, right? And then we can organize society like that.
He's trying to create a hierarchy. That's all.
it. Okay, let's see what he's saying. Let's go. Okay. Pretty motherfuck.
Amount of days that I wake up and actually want to go to the gym.
What is his accent? He has an
very,
accent?
Very few.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
Do I feel amazing after going to the gym? Yes. Meditation's been a part of my life for a long time, so it's changed. I have a healthy relationship.
Where is he
but
from?
There are still days when I don't want to meditate, or I'm too tired or exhausted.
Oh, he's Australian.
Or I'm too bored to go to sleep early, and so I'd rather think that maybe if I
British.
stay up a bit late,
South
I'll be
African?
more entertained.
He's South
And so
African?
He's our Trevor Noah, dog.
What does that mean?
Fine as fuck South African.
I thought he was British. And that's like 90% of the reason for my
I
hate.
thought he was British too. I thought he's British
I'm like,
too.
you
but
can't
I'm
have the accent you were historically oppressed in. It's wrong.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
That's
He's
fire.
English.
Wait,
He's
what?
English, okay. He's English.
He's English.
He's English.
Okay.
He sounds Australian.
It didn't.
Look, he's clearly a handsome guy. You don't think he's a handsome guy?
I think
he's a
that's
handsome
part of
guy.
the reason he doesn't like him.
Oh, shit. You don't like handsome guys?
You just don't like handsome guys, you know.
Should I feel insulted right now?
I'm just
He's not
saying.
handsome. He doesn't like handsome guys at all.
I never said you weren't
No,
handsome.
No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't say that.
I don't know why I hate him. I just do. It's like
Because he's gorgeous,
like
dog.
yeah,
Because he's
That's it.
pretty.
He's gorgeous and
gorgeous and British. No, it's British. It's
Why
not
do you
gorgeous.
guys hate the brands? Like,
Yeah, what did they ever do?
well, you know what I mean? Like, didn't they put some trains or
Bring-
something? Like,
hey, bring
you
ain't
guys
nothing-
love the trains. You love the trains.
We
it's
love
your
the
favorite
trains.
thing.
No,
the
no, no.
trains.
That was a fair trade.
Did they do anything good? Did they do anything good?
You could say England is the third India. You could say.
You could.
There's
know?
3 Indians.
There's 3 Indias, dude.
The matter is sub judice right now, so I wouldn't say anything. No.
Is there anything they did that's good? Do you ever look at something in India and you're like, well, at least we got that?
There's
Like
got to be
the
something.
Taj Mahal, right? Like that was good. You
That
know?
was a Muslim.
I know, but what I'm saying is maybe it came from maybe it came from some people who weren't the nicest, but
Cricket.
You believe cricket?
They brought cricket over,
You
and
love
now
cricket.
we're the best team that there is.
Well, you lost to Pakistan last time, but it's okay.
But still the best team.
I'm just saying. No big-
I just want to
You
put
know
it
what
out
I'm
there.
saying? You know what I'm saying, boy? We got a Pakistani here.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Career move. Hey, talk to him for real, dog.
Listen, this is the West. In the West, we're all Arabs. It's fine.
Well,
Okay.
actually, technically, Veer is African.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in Nigeria.
Until when? What age to what age?
See, that's why I went to Africa age 2 to age 16. I was in boarding school in India, but
You're an African, bro.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought you
African,
moved
absolutely.
earlier than that. I thought you moved when you were in like 3rd grade or some shit like that. 5th grade, something
no, I
like
was
that.
2 years old when
he's
we
an
went to
African
Nigeria.
man.
Yeah.
No, I thought you came back to India earlier. So your formative years are Nigerian.
Nigeria, yeah.
Oh,
but
shit.
I went to boarding school in India when I was 8 years old.
Do you know any of the cool dances?
No.
Wait, you went to boarding school in India when you were 8. So you would go to India half the year and then come back to
man.
Nigeria for summer or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
So you just still spend most of your time in India.
Yeah, 8 months a year. Yeah,
8 months
But
a year in
My
India.
parents were in Africa, but again, like Indians in Africa tend to be just very kind of insulated
Yeah,
as well. Like
100%.
just, like gated communities and only socialize with Indians and It's a thing. So, yeah.
Accepted?
Indians in Africa?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Really?
Very
Good
much so.
relationship? And
With everyone.
cultural similarities?
Yeah, and I think like Indians and Nigerian people are very similar in that we're very like emotional people. It's like we're just similar cultures. Like in terms of values, family values, systems, all of that stuff.
Don't
We're very
trust them
similar.
when you're doing business. It's very similar. Very similar.
Were you taking down some sisters?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I was 8, so no.
But when you were 16, no?
No.
Nothing?
No, still no.
But you didn't see, and you weren't just like, oh shit, dude.
No.
Do you think they started dancing like this because they were looking over the gate to see what the Indians?
Are there Indians in there? What's that?
And then you guys were dancing back like,
No, we were just waving with hands to show them the hands. We're like, we're here. We're here. We actually are here.
Okay, so no chocolate.
No.
Really?
Not until college. I went to college in America.
Oh, and then you took down.
Yeah, I went to Galesburg, Illinois, the mecca of civilization. It's
Gale? Why there?
financial aid. Like there's a college called Knox College that gives you like 90% financially, 95% financially. So it's like 1,200 kids, really diverse. So yeah, that's where I went to college.
You also went to the Moscow Center for Performing Arts, something like that, right?
No.
No performing arts in
I have no
Moscow?
ties with Russia at all. I just want to put that out
See,
there.
you see how they do, yo?
do you
You see
feel?
how they do?
I heard that
Come
from
on,
Doug.
eh?
No,
And
I
it is
did.
on your Wikipedia.
I went it's
Program.
really, I went to a program
Yeah, be
in
careful.
Boston.
Be careful.
But Russians are fucking amazing to study acting with, right? Because like after 4 years of drama school, where Americans are very like feedback oriented. They're like, I see
Yeah.
what you're doing, but take a different direction, emote with your shoulders, whatever.
Yeah.
That stuff. Russians are just like, bullshit, get off stage. I don't like you. Insult Chekhov, your mother is whore. Get out. Like, it's like very direct feedback.
Yeah.
So like after 3 years of drama school and you spend all this money to learn how to act, the artistic director of the Moscow Arts Theatre comes up and he's like, acting is very simple. Read script. Believe script. Then do what the fuck you like. And he left.
whoa.
Oh, so he came to your program in Boston.
There's a program with the American Repertory Theatre and the Moscow Arts Theatre. It's like 5 months. And
Shit
so they
is
teach
a
you how to
rap,
act.
I think. Probably not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And it was method acting, right?
Yeah.
So who were
Stanislavski.
you
Huh? Who was I?
during your little stint?
As in, I mean, it's like meta stuff, but I was apparently like a horse, is what they were saying. Like you have embody the psychology of a horse, is what they kind of gave you in this thing. So
You paying
Yeah.
for this?
it's actually a full scholarship. So I was just like,
Okay.
it's free, I'll go.
So what would you do as a horse? Like how would you?
Yep. Here we go.
What would you do? Like
You know.
I don't.
We gotta see now. You gotta show us. You gotta
Truly
show us.
interested.
You know.
Yeah. But
You
would
gotta
you
show us.
like that?
Graze. No,
Would you just eat carrots and
yeah,
shit? Like
pretty
what?
much, yeah.
Really?
No, it's a bunch of Russian people who sit around you and like give you vodka and they're like, we think you remind us of like
Of a horse.
Of a horse.
That's insulting, dog.
I think so.
You have to live
yeah.
as a horse?
That's insulting.
I think
It's
so.
like reincarnation before.
Yeah.
Like past life regression.
method acting is
I used to be a horse.
reincarnation.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they had it. Maybe you have it in you. Maybe you were a horse in a past life, and they noticed that.
I think so. Yeah, I think Russians can look
They
into
can
your
tell
past
what you
lives.
were, yeah.
They might destroy your future one right now, but they can look into your past. I think that's
They're
the.
giving those people a bright future.
Are they? Are there potatoes involved this time as well? Is that what's going on?
How do you
They're
make
like, here are
vodka?
potatoes
How do you
in
make
Ukraine.
vodka?
That's what we need. In hell.
Oh my goodness.
Almost died right there.
Almost passed away.
Yeah, dude, the acting thing is interesting. It's hard to go back after doing stand up, or no?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Because it's not real. Like
Yeah.
I'll do a project sometimes and I'm just like, fuck, if I have to talk about like intermittent fasting and protein shakes for another hour, I'm gonna kill myself. And then you
You're
come-
talking about with the cast.
with the cast. It's hard.
It is so the socialization.
And because everybody's having some personal crisis that really nobody gives a fuck about.
I know.
And
It's
then
the
you come to a
worst.
comedy club at night and you're just like, oh, damaged people, my
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And you feel at home.
Yeah, it's so true. People don't understand like the downtime it's all downtime.
Yeah.
And it's just like boring downtime with the dumbest people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who said it, but she was like, I act for free. I get paid to wait.
Yeah.
Judy Garland maybe or somebody said that. But Like I remember, so I'm still acting, but I remember the moment I knew, I'm like, I need to find something that's fulfilling. Like I was in a movie, and in Bollywood movies, we have like 5 or 6 songs, right? So you rehearse for like 8 days for a song. And I was on a piano on a beach in like white pants with like a
Backstreet Boys video,
like a chiffon shirt that was open.
I see it.
And there were like 6 air blowers pointed at my shirt, so it was fluttering in the wind. I hadn't had carbs in like a week.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for this girl to run towards me.
Yeah.
And they film her in slow motion. So like this lady had to charge like this fucking 10 times a day, and I'm just like, man, I need to find something else to do with my fucking life.
All right, guys, we can take a break for a second because I got to make sure your energy's up, okay? I got to make sure your energy's up, and you need that gamer subs to make that happen. I'm telling you right now, you're playing video games with the homies. Call of Duty, all right? You found a way to like redo the game to make sure we're taking out Russians, right? You're the fucking Ghost of Kiev. Well, the Ghost of Kiev stays up all night because he's on that gamer subs, just taking out Russian planes, taking out Russian tanks, taking out Russian whores as well. Gamer subs got him up all night, laser focus. Gamer subs. It's probably healthy, isn't it?
It's healthy, dog. 0 calories, keto friendly, whatever you want to do. I took it right for the podcast.
See, so Akaash is going to be off the wall. And you know, another cool thing is if you buy one of the tubs, you're going to get one of these waifu cups.
Yup.
Do you know what the waifus are? Look at that shit right there.
I got tittyless waifu. Still love it.
You dork.
Yeah.
You got the Bitcoin waifu. The waifus come with badass anime chicks on them.
Yeah.
Front and back.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you.
Mark got a real one.
There you go. Look at that.
Mark got a straight one.
Cat ears, full set of tits, no nipple prints. I mean, that's fire, dude. That's super fire. Full set of tits, no nip prints. Nips are soft. Nips are super soft. But fat tits. Fat anime tits.
They be reselling on eBay for a couple $100 easy.
Yo, that's crazy. But why would you resell it if you already filled it with your cum? Why would you do that? Who's going to want to buy your cum-filled waifu? I'm just saying, if you don't fill it up with cum, you can resell it on eBay. Okay? Anyway, point is, we have a special promo. Friday, we have buy any tub, get a free waifu cup that you can resell if you want, or you can fill with your cum. You go to gamersupps.com. That's GAMERSUPPS.com. Use the code Flagrant to receive 10% off your order. Do it right now. Let's get back to the show.
To that question, what was the moment where stand-up you realized was the thing? You said you fell back in love with it. Was there a moment when you were like, yo, this is... Because I tend to think stand-up is who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And when you talk about 2 Indias, it's like, oh, he's a stand-up.
Yeah.
I have to get this out. What was the moment on stage where you were like, nah, this is who I am. I'm a stand-up.
I'd come to the States to like take meetings, which is whatever that means. It means give money to Uber.
Yeah. Means nothing.
And I was in LA and I got a spot at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And it was 2:00 in the morning, or whatever, 1:00, like a late show. And I hadn't done stand-up in like 4 years. I just crashed and burned at the box office. And the guy who runs the Laugh Factory, Jamie Masada, put me on after Whitney Cummings.
Yeah.
And I did like 6 minutes. And I just remember watching her like crush.
Yeah.
Like kill, suck the energy out of the room. And I went up and I did well.
Yeah.
And I just remember being up there just being like...
Easy follow. Love you, Wet.
Yeah, but I just remember like I was between her and Dane Cook, right? And what you have to understand is it's impossible to come from where I come from without being a bit of a fanboy.
Yeah.
When you see like Western comics who you've watched your entire life. So you're intimidated because these are venues that you've seen in documentaries.
Sure.
So it's bigger to you than it is to anyone who's grown up on the scene. And then you see people that you've seen in movies and you've seen in documentaries as well, or they're special. So it's a big deal for you coming from India. And so I just remember watching her being terrified, going up, doing 6 minutes, doing really, really well, and coming off stage and just being like, I fucking feel better than I've felt in 5 years. And I will take this seriously now. So then I just kind of started spending time here, started touring the world a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to change your model for success. I think we get caught up in like the systems model.
Yeah.
Especially even like we have more opportunities, I guess, here in America for stand-ups. Now maybe it's changing in India, but like early on in our career, it's like, okay, I'm going to do some stand-up, I'm going to get a sitcom, and then I'm going to do that sitcom for a while, and then I'm going to put out specials with a sitcom. And then you start doing some of these things, and you're like, wow, I don't really enjoy that. Like every time I was preparing for a late night set, I'd be like, I'm miserable. And then I started to go, do I even need to do this? And I go, none of the people that I look up to have done this. I don't need to do this. And then I go, okay, I don't want to do it as part of my model for success. And that's the freedom I think that stand-up kind of provides.
I heard it put really well by somebody else. They said success is the amount of time that passes between like you having an idea and somebody believing in that idea. And most of us spend like our entire lives trying to get that time down to like the minimum amount. Saying, I want to do this, and then instantly everybody's like, I want, like, the biggest Bollywood star is a guy called Amir Khan. If Amir Khan wakes up tomorrow morning and he's like, I want to do a movie about donkeys that do judo in Peru. Fucking 5 donkeys will learn judo. You know, like somebody will write a script. It'll happen in like 5 months. That's success. To me. And I feel like for stand-ups, because we have like 9 ideas in our head every single morning that we got to put out. Like that's the journey. But like to your point of what you were saying, I think what really changed is everything else became so fake that people started valuing authenticity.
Well,
more than anything else.
I think the internet allowed people to see authenticity. We didn't know what was fake before because all we had was fake. You know, you try one type, there's one option for food in your neighborhood, that food is good. And then another restaurant pops up and you realize if that food is good or not. And I think that's what the internet did, is it like disrupted truth, it disrupted comedy, it disrupted absolutely everything. It's disrupting banking right now. Like the internet is just the great disruptor. And for our industry, it allowed us to like go do the jokes we wanted to do. And all of a sudden people start seeing them. They're like, oh, I prefer this to what I'm watching on Fridays at Comedy Central.
But even it's a nice artistic sort of trip to change from, here are all the gatekeepers between me and an audience. Here's everything that I have to be to them before I get to be somebody that they decide to the audience. And now just kind of going, fuck, there's a living in just being me. And I get to control this. Like I don't think there's a better time for us.
For creatives, no. No. I mean, it's just, this is awesome. And they'll find a way to clamp down.
I want to ask you one more question. You're credited as like really moving comedy forward in India. Like one of the big guys that like helped get it started, right? Where do you want to see it go? Where are you trying to push it to? And how?
I just want to see like 9 clubs in every city. I would love to see that. And not in the big cities, in the small cities. I'd love to see comedy without consequence. I'd love to see political comedy, religious comedy, just like, and where it seems like nothing unusual at all. It just feels like something that happens every day. I'd love to see more female comics in India. Like that's something that I'd love to see. There's not enough right now. There's like a big sort of imbalance.
How many?
Like working female comics in India, maybe 30, 35.
That's a good amount.
I feel like
That's a good amount.
I feel like, you know,
30?
that's a lot, yo.
Yeah, 30.
How many female comics do you have here?
Oh, maybe 20.
Oh my
20.
I think
10?
I think you're being generous.
I think we got between 10 and 20.
I think you're being generous.
Who you would consider a comic? Like, or like who everybody would consider a comic?
2 to 4.
Wow.
2 to 4. Is Joan Rivers still alive? 3. 3. Yeah.
So we need to raise the number.
Eddie Izzard, I think, has become.
Yeah, Eddie Izzard's a woman.
Now he's a woman. So then back up to 4.
Eddie Izzard is fucking amazing.
He's incredible.
He's my top.
He's
3.
incredible.
Like
that's high.
Like Pryor, Carlin, and Eddie Izzard are my top 3.
Wow.
This guy still wants to act, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next week.
Gotta say the right thing, baby. Really? That's your top 3. What about Rock? What about Patrice? What about
Chappelle?
I think
Chappelle?
like it's who you grow up with as well, right? So I just
Yeah.
wasn't exposed to them when I was like growing up, but like Carlin for just sheer not give a fuckness.
Yeah.
Pryor for vulnerability and putting that into stand-up.
Yeah.
And Eddie Izzard for saying something that he clearly wrote and making you feel like he made up the entire show on the spot.
Yeah.
So like that's why I like those 3 guys.
Yeah, Eddie's great at that. He can make it feel like the first time.
But it's all written.
Yeah.
And it's super craft and it's all rehearsed.
Yeah,
But
he is like the blend between like a stage play and stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Like a one-man show and stand-up.
Is that still a thing though? Like
I think the British do it a lot more than we do here.
But I feel like those lines are blending as well, right? In terms of like what stand-up is. I feel like that discussion changes every single year.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, this feels like a one-man show, or this feels too cinematic, or that feels like a TED Talk, or it changes.
If it's less jokes, it's one-man show.
All right.
And if it's more jokes, it's stand-up.
If you can't be a successful stand-up, you do a one-man show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
or
then,
if there's one theme in it.
But then like, is the American, like are Americans opposed to like stand-up shows with narrative? or like with story to them?
No, I think that those people are incredibly successful.
Yeah.
I think that like sometimes stand-ups.
I feel like we're all thinking of the same people and not saying it, but anyway.
But who, like a Mike Birbiglia or something like that?
No, but like that's pure storytelling. And
Yeah,
but
he's a
joke
storyteller.
heavy. Like I feel like that's joke heavy.
Neil Brennan has joke-heavy one-man show. Absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
Birbiglia is funny.
Birbiglia is storyteller.
Yeah.
He's mastered it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
But would you call that a one-man show? Mike
Birbiglia, I would call one-man show. But
Okay.
Birbiglia could work those jokes out, like parts of those stories out on stage.
Yeah, he was a successful stand-up.
Yeah.
I always wonder that, like, do storyteller stand-ups like pop into the club?
Yeah, and I
over
think
here?
they work out the stories there. And I think that's how they get them good.
Nice.
I mean, that's what I would do. I would want the expectations of a stand-up crowd. If I'm killing with that,
Mm-hmm.
and then turning to the narrative, and then you separate yourself a little bit. I think that's cool. I think that's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I do think that there are people who go, "I'm a storyteller," because they're just not punching up their jokes enough. They don't want the expectations of stand-up.
nice.
But I think the elite storytellers and one-man show guys, like the Eddie Izzard guys, no comic is going, "Oh yeah, he's not that funny. He's just being a storyteller." He is stand-up funny, and happens to have this like orchestrated, beautiful piece,
Yeah.
which I think you could look at like, I don't want to say next level because I love watching a Chris Rock or a Bill Burr or like a Patrice. Like I like what they do, and that's a little bit more my style. But I appreciate somebody putting together a piece. Even Akaash, like you put together a piece. There's a string of these jokes that all had a similar theme.
That was the idea,
Yeah. So you could say you're gay. You're gay. You could say that.
I've been trying to say it for years, actually.
I didn't know that you were one man gay,
yeah.
but you are.
I've been trying to thank you for finally
Finally,
seeing
I
me.
realized it.
Like, man,
Finally
if you and Jay
seeing the
Shetty got together, like
Oh,
that
dude,
baby.
I should be so lucky.
Yeah.
I look at Jay like, why are you settling? You know what I mean?
Nah, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, I think you got just as pretty eyes.
I don't know.
He's
man.
got better cheekbones.
He got great cheekbones. His eyes are like icy blue.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, he
I've
could
actually
get
never
fucked,
like
man.
Hrithik maybe. Like Hrithik Roshan is like a big superstar.
He's gorgeous, but he got 3 thumbs.
Yeah, true. 3. I was like, okay, there's
What?
another one on this.
He got 2 thumbs on one hand.
Yeah.
I had a driver. It's all. Why, you ever notice that? Why is it you guys that always have like the extra fucking limbs and shit?
I don't know if this is true. You always say this, and I don't think it's
If there's a
this guy's
person that's like
crazy.
born with like another leg, it's Indian. Why is that?
The Kama Sutra. That's why you shouldn't read that shit. It's because we're doing all the funny fucking, right? So there you go.
No, but
That's why stay away.
But is that a sheer numbers thing, and we just don't hear about it from China because China doesn't like promote it?
Isn't everything with us a sheer numbers thing?
I literally am wondering.
China's
Like,
got to have some fucking, come on.
some
China,
mutants, bro.
we just
Yeah,
don't
no.
know.
Yeah. They're just
What do
not
they
talking
do?
about
You
it.
can't call them mutants.
What Uyghurs? What do you call them? What do you call? Is that what they're putting in the camp? Or are they just finding all like the extra limb person?
Yeah, they can get more work done.
There you go.
You know what I
Build
mean?
the toys.
Yeah.
You have an extra
Yeah,
hand.
100%.
Yeah.
You're putting on 4 wheels at once. That's crazy.
Make
That's
a building
actually a
in
great
5
point.
minutes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a serious question though?
Yes, sir.
Why is India trying to do side deals for Russian oil right now?
I do not know.
The fuck,
Is
yo?
the correct answer.
We
Like,
thought that we were homies, man.
I mean,
Aren't we homies?
You live pretty far away. I just
But,
want to put that
you
out
know,
there.
distant
Like they're right
homies.
next door.
Yeah, we've been sending 10 cents a day or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, come on, yo. I thought that they were best friends. I thought that we're in this together.
I mean, 10 cents the company in China. You know what I mean?
Fuck, was that what we've been sending the money
I
to,
think you
Mark?
said it in there.
We didn't get
Holy
that shit, dude.
shit. They were using the Indian babies to get us to send money to a Chinese company?
Yeah, 10 cents.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah. I don't know is the correct answer. Like I have no idea.
Is there any pushback to that? Any scrutiny?
No, there is definitely.
Okay,
Just
and I don't want to get you in trouble back home.
No,
asking
I'm
these
not in
questions.
enough trouble as it is right now.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, like, because I'm curious also about like the whole farmer thing. But can you talk about that without
Well,
getting in trouble?
They repealed the laws.
Yeah.
I know.
And I remember you guys talking about that
Yes.
on the podcast, so I appreciate that. But the 2 days after I put out that piece, and I just kind of went underground for like a week. And then I came out and they were like, they repealed the farmer laws.
You did it.
No, not me, but I
No,
was
you
just like,
did
I
it.
didn't know.
I remember that
And-
line, bro.
Huh?
That was a good line.
Yeah,
We
it was a good
brag
line.
about being vegetarians, but we shit all over the farmer. Was it?
Run
Was that
over
what you
the
Run
said?
over the farm.
We
I
run
mean,
over
somebody
the
legitimately
farmers.
ran over farmers.
Yeah.
But he, like, it was 48 hours later. And like, that was something that made me happy. You know what I mean? Like, those laws went away. It was a big movement.
So, what are we thinking here? Can you even talk about it, or do you get in trouble? I don't want you to get in trouble,
I'm already
but I
in
want the
trouble.
answer.
as far as the farmers go, those laws are gone.
The laws are gone, and
they won.
Okay, they won.
If there's one community that has like commitment and like doesn't back down, it's the Sikhs.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, like you like they will hold a grudge.
Yeah.
They will stay committed. They will fight.
Yeah, my wife be holding a grudge.
Right.
Yeah.
So
His wife converted him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Akaash
no,
is
she
Sikh
did
now.
not. But
You are sick.
You are, though.
okay.
how'd you meet your wife? Like
You wear the.
She had a fat ass and I followed it. Out
Nice.
Of the show.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Most Indian way ever
of the
to meet
show.
your wife.
Yeah, street harassment, obviously.
But
just hanging out outside her college at like
No,
3
I
p.m.
walked out and saw, and I was like, whoa. And then I walked to go see what she looked like, and then her sister turned around and was like, can we get a picture? And I was
So there
like,
has to be
yeah.
family involved, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but where was
100%.
this?
Yeah, yeah.
we actually brought you on this podcast because we want to convert you as well. And by putting on this
The kata?
kata, by putting on this kata, you will now go to heaven. Or nirvana, or whatever you call it.
Because the assumption is I wasn't going.
You weren't going to go.
Yeah. All right.
But now, if you on this podcast become sick as
Let me put it on. Let's see if it fits. There you go.
let's go.
I've played a Sikh man before, like in like 2 movies.
How much did they make you drink?
A lot, and there was no makeup, and I wore a turban, and I grew a full beard, and I got to eat what the fuck I like, which never happens in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, you can pull it up actually. I'm like, and then I played like an old Sikh man as well. Like I played an 80-year-old Sikh man, which is kind of cool.
Now,
to
did
do.
the Sikh
It's so
community
funny.
get upset? Were they?
Because he'll
okay.
never actually give a role to a guy with a turban. But they're like, I just hope that you got
just eat some parathas. Just, yeah.
That's what I was asking. Like, does the Sikh community go, why can't we
So
do
that-
those?
You see that old guy?
Oh, wow.
And that's me as a Sikh man.
top left.
Yeah, that middle one, you look like Bin Laden. But that left one.
Yeah.
But is there like ever pushback from the community? Like, does the community go, hey, we want Hindu people playing roles that are for Hindu. We want Punjabi people playing roles that are for Punjabis. Like, that exists in America.
Not at all. No. So this movie that we did was about the Sikh riots, where a lot of Sikh people lost their lives in 1981, and we shot it in a place where those riots happened, and it was kind of magical in that everybody who lives in that locality would just come out and stand on their rooftop and watch the shooting for like 9 hours a day. So you're recreating the worst moment in their history.
81, 84.
81.
There was another one. I always hear about
1984. And so you're recreating the worst moment in their entire family's history, and they're just quietly watching from a rooftop as you recreate murder and fires and violence. And they couldn't have been nicer and more respectful. And
How did they take in the movie? Was it successful? Did they appreciate it?
no, it wasn't a successful movie, but it's one of those things where you'd be shooting and then suddenly food would show up from households.
Oh, really?
And they'd be like, come in and like, come and have lunch with us. Like, they were just really, really good. And like the one thing about the Sikh community that I will say is like they never let anyone go hungry. Like they're a very respectful, tight community. So like that was a life-changing experience, just shooting there in front of them.
I think he's going to come around. I think he's going to come around. Would it be bad for your career if you became trans?
If I became, no, I don't think so. The way my career is going,
It might be. It might be, the right
just
thing.
the thing I need. No.
Oh, what is the group of people? I get to ask all my Indian questions. What is the group of people who are like trans, and if you don't give them money, it's like bad luck?
I mean, I'm not sure if they're called eunuchs, but I don't know if there's like an official word.
We have a
for the
term. I
community.
don't remember what it is, but I don't. There is a term though.
Yeah, and they're considered to be holy, and you know if there's a blessing in your house, you give them money.
Yeah, we look at it more like a mafia that comes and asks for money, and you pay
When you
them.
say
Otherwise,
who are
bad
you
things will
talking
happen.
about?
My
Like,
family.
in Delhi?
My family. Just no. That's what I've heard. You give them money, or it's bad luck, and it's not
Yeah.
out of reverence necessarily. It's like, yo, you
Must
don't
be
wanna get
nice to
fucked
have
up.
the monopoly on good luck, though. Like that's a good
Yeah,
career
I said
move.
no to one on the street, and then I swear to God, my plane coming back from India that night had turbulence, and a guy had to go to the hospital. Like, yeah, yo, I think it was aimed at me. These motherfuckers trying to get me, and they got some guy in coach.
Whoa.
Lucky,
Yeah.
lucky your boy was
They
laying
didn't know
flat.
you got upgraded.
Yeah, they didn't
that's
know.
what happens.
Man, they just saw your eyes and they were like, he has dollars. And we're gonna go talk to this guy.
Yeah, but that was a
So-
real thing. That night, there was like a medical emergency. They had to call for a doctor on the flight. It was wild. All
Because
I
of
didn't
you
give this
or like
guy
somebody
100
else on your
rupees.
flight?
I don't know. I didn't give a guy 100 rupees. He gave me bad luck, and luckily it missed. I'm like Harry Potter out this bitch.
Yeah, the boy that lives.
My dad was on a flight where somebody died, and in the weirdest like announcement, the pilot came on and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, somebody's died, but we're closer to our destination than we are to where we left from. So we're just gonna complete the flight if everybody's okay with that."
Wow.
And then everybody just sat in silence around a dead body for like 45 minutes, and we're happy to get to their destination.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I would have pretended to be the dead guy. I would have put the glasses on and just laid there. Just fell on the guy next to me.
Bro.
45 minutes though, you can't turn around.
No, we're not turning around. But also, like, even if we just went up in the air and they died, finish the flight.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like, don't. Yeah.
We have to get to Sydney.
Yeah.
Like 11 hours. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll put them on ice.
How much do you
100%.
decompose in 11 hours? Probably not that much.
Yeah. And they already stink.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just jokes, guys. You know what I'm
Do we have a
saying?
doctor on the
Al,
flight
you're
or
crazy.
deodorant on the flight? Do we have deodorant or cologne?
Also, yeah, what are the chances there's got to be doctors? Or is this our, like, bigoted understanding of, like, Indians? Like, when you go to India, it's just like America. In that, like, how do I explain this? Like, here, I expect greatness of Indians, right?
Yeah.
Doctor, engineer, etc. I'm sure, like, Americans maybe abroad, you're like, oh, you're here because you're working in some corporation, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So most of the white people there are like British tourists or some shit like that. But over there, the expectation when you're seeing Indians, you're not like, oh, there's an abundance of engineers, doctors, or educated people.
Well, I mean, there is an abundance of engineers and educated. Like, we have the youngest working population on the planet right now. Like, we have
Yeah,
the
I saw you say that. Yeah.
like it's we are the workforce, or at least the biggest free workforce in democratic workforce in the world right now. So there's a bunch of engineers and doctors, but like it's kind of all changing. Like you can, if you live in the bigger cities in India, you can be whatever the fuck you like. And there's money to be made and support to be found. Like, it's really cool what's happening in my country right now. Other things, like comedic stuff aside and like a right-wing government aside, just like what the younger generation is doing in my country right now is fucking breathtaking. It is.
Sounds like a opportunity has hit India.
It feels like you guys in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it feels like it's happening in my country right now.
My father always talks about, like, he was in the army, he got in the army, and he just walked into a local news station and just filled out not even a resume, filled out an application to be a reporter. This is unheard of now. Now you have to go to Syracuse and then get into reporter school, and then hopefully you have some connection, you do an internship. But there was a time in America where without education, you could just walk in and get these different jobs. Yeah. And I wonder if that's kind of what's happening.
I see why black people are so pissed off.
Exactly.
I see why
I'm
black people
listening
are so
right now. I'm
pissed
like,
off.
yeah, it was like that.
Why'd you come here? Why'd you come here then?
Oh, yeah.
Why'd y'all come?
Yeah, I should have turned back.
Yeah.
There was already dead people on the ship, man. Oh my God.
Make your own news station.
They couldn't even apply to vote. Yeah, applied to be newscasters.
I know. It's crazy.
Son, once they got the right to vote, everything really went downhill in terms of becoming newscasters in one day. Yo, there is some sort of connective tissue there, you know? Is that what you did with your first vote? Is stop white people from doing what they wanted whenever?
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
I just love it when white people talk to black people about tissue. That's my...
It's fun. It happens
No, but
often.
is that happening there? Like, is that kind of opportunity happening?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm hugely optimistic about where we're going to be in 15 years as a country. Like culturally, I think we're going to be a force in the world. I do. I'm sorry if this sounds like sentimental or whatever, but it's, you know, it's something I
we
feel.
like this. This is good.
Yeah.
I love the idea of opportunity.
I mean, you kind of did that. You put a podcast on the internet, and now people watch it. You're like a newscaster, and you didn't have to go into the studio. You did a step better. You did
Take that out. That's your fucking Yankee MAGA hat.
By the way, can I just say, like, as somebody who listens to the show, like, and I love the podcast, like, my favorite part is also the way you guys do advertising on this thing, because it's like crisis-based advertising. I've never seen anybody sell harder, right? So, like, you come on and be like, we're going to take a break because I want to talk to you about your dick. Your dick is dead. Your dick needs help right now.
Yeah.
Save your dick. Your dick is dead.
Your dick's on an airplane and it's passed away. But we still got to land.
I'm just listening.
We
like,
go full Alex Jones when we do the advertising.
Like maybe my dick is dead. He seems very convinced. So
We're on Blue Chew right now. We are all on it.
like you guys hard sell, which is fun.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because boners are important. They're important to you. They're important to the women in your life, okay? Your mom likes a hard dick. Super hard. Guaranteed your mom had a hard dick minimum once in her life. You can't even refute that.
Scientifically
Speaking.
irrefutable.
Irrefutable evidence that your mom likes hard dick.
Well, maybe adopted.
Nah, bro.
You could have adopted.
This person I'm talking to right now is not adopted. His mom got nutted in, Mark. Probably by the dad.
Even the adopted person has a mom.
That's true. That even the adopted person got fucking nutted in.
She might not have wanted to
Or their
raise him
dad did.
because she wanted too much dick.
Yeah. Anyway, that whole batch of cum that your dad unloaded in your mom's box
Can we restart?
deserves to come out of the hardest dick possible.
Let him finish. See where it's going.
And Blue Chew's gonna make that happen, okay? Blue Chew, that's the truth. Same active ingredients inside Viagra or Cialis, but this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the one that's gonna have your mom bending over different. Oh, can you help me bring the muffins out of the oven? Because I can't, my back. Why does your back hurt? You don't want to know.
It got blown out.
That's what happened.
Got
That's what I was
blown out.
alluding to.
Got blown
But thank
out.
you for saying exactly what it was. Point is, your mom's getting the sausage.
What does that mean?
Yeah, your mom is getting the sausage. And she deserves to get it. And so does your girl. So does your wife. So does your side chick. BlueChew.com. Matter of fact, you're going to get it for free. You use the promo code Flagrant. You're going to get it for free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. Your mom's back is blown the fuck out.
Okay. You want to actually do that?
I think that's the ad.
BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Flagrant. Pay that $5 shipping. You get that first month for free. Enjoy. Let's get back to the show. Damn, Al, you had a really great point there that we covered up with comedy, but it was an opportunity for everyone, huh? Damn, dude. Yeah.
There's two Americas. All right.
And my dad was in Baltimore, too. Like, it's just the only white guy there. Like, put him on the news.
What a crime report.
Literally, Oprah was there, like doing everything she could to get on TV, and my dad was like, "I'm available." Fuck, it was racism the whole time.
Yeah, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, how are you guys going to deal with that? You got to,
Your
be
dad
careful with the
coming over to
racism.
do
My
the
dad
news?
might come over there. Dude. He might fucking take over the news. Dude.
I think your dad might
TGI
do better
Global.
news than some of our channels right now. He might.
Is it rough, the news?
It is, because it's a lot of it is just fed to them by the by the authorities and all
Yeah.
that. So there's like 3 news
Don't you
channels
need
that
some
do
of that,
the
though?
news. But
You
aren't
have a billion people. Like, you
He
kind
has
of need
a thing
enough
in
propaganda.
in the special where he says there's a newspaper, and then he makes fun of the newspaper, and he said, "I've been told if I mention them by name, I will get sued to oblivion or some shit like that."
Like,
And
I've written my own articles in the newspaper. Like, that's a thing. Like,
you just because you paid them,
Yeah.
even though you shit on them all the time.
Yeah, like you can pay them and write your own article, and they'll embellish it a little bit, but you can buy space. Like, we have an entertainment thing called the Bombay Times, which used to be a newspaper, and now it says promotional entertainment supplement because they sell by the word. So technically, you can write your own article in a newspaper.
At least they're being honest what it is.
Yeah, they're being honest about it.
I think that's our frustration with the news is like, we come out here and we talk about different stories and we talk our shit, but we're saying, hey, we're comedians. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're saying this is the news. This is the truth.
Well, is there one source that still like is unbiased or works? Because you seem to have like the CNN, New York Times, Fox News, blah, blah, blah. Or is it just Fox
Infowars?
News? Huh?
Infowars.
Oh my gosh.
That is the truth. No, I don't know. What do you guys think is the most
Breaking
honest?
points.
Yeah, breaking points.
The
Indian
the
kids, Sagar,
podcast, yeah, Sagar and
Sagar,
Crystal, right?
yeah.
I've
Yep.
heard that, yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but I think you were probably talking about like mainstream traditional
Yeah.
media, right? What do you think is
But
most
aren't they
honest?
the mainstream media now? Like, isn't that kind of gone?
Well, that's
or
the beauty.
redefined?
We are.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're still talking about these legacy media brands as like mainstream media, but this is where the main group of people in America is at least getting their news.
Yeah, I don't think there's an unbiased news source, but I
Yeah.
don't think there ever has been, and I don't know if it's even worth pursuing. I think you just try to get a mixed diet of multiple things that form
I'm doing
I used to think BBC just because they had accents. Like, you could trust it.
Nah, that's real. That's real.
Man, fuck the BBC. I'm just gonna say that. And I'll tell you why. After and I'm doing a bit about this now, but like after 2 Indias, they had a headline and I was on the homepage and it said Indian comedian polarizes the nation. I'm like, do you know how badly you have to fuck up before the British say that you divided India? Like, at the end of my performance, people went to the lobby, not Pakistan. Fuck you. So, and due respect to the guy who plays cricket. So, yeah.
Yo, so the BBC is trash. Y'all don't fuck with the BBC.
No.
How do you feel about British people in general?
I like them.
You like them?
Yeah. If we get our jewels back, I'm on board. No.
What are you guys going to do with those jewels, though? Put it in the slop?
Oh my god.
We'll put them in potatoes because we know you're excited about that shit. White people are going to show up. Let's slip them jewels in potatoes.
Don't tempt me, bro. Potato and jewelry? No. In all seriousness, like, let's say you get the jewels back. Like, then what happens? Is it more symbolic?
Yeah, of course
like
it's more symbolic.
Yeah, so it's not really about the jewels. It's
No,
about...
fuck no. There's so many jewels. Like,
Yeah, right?
We
Who
have
gives a fuck?
the
Yeah.
largest amount of undeclared jewelry in the world right now.
Really? What about oil, too? There's got to be some oil under there, right?
In India, I don't know.
You don't think there were ever dinosaurs in India?
I'm sure there were dinosaurs in India. Some of them are running it, but
Hey! Why do you think there were so many dinosaurs in the Middle East? What do you think that was about?
I don't know. All I know is all those dinosaurs won't take your president's phone calls right now.
Yo, isn't that fucked up?
It's fucked up, yeah.
I'm about to fuck somebody up.
Yo, he was
Are
in a
you sure
bad
that,
mood.
like, I'm pretty sure they have spoken. Like,
Yeah, they're back channeling, but they're putting out propaganda that they're not answering our
Disrespectful
calls.
propaganda.
They're being disrespectful.
Incredibly disrespectful.
And do you know what happens? Like, there's a history of like,
Oh my god.
Yo, they've been punked for years. Come on.
there's a history of countries trying to sell oil in other currencies besides the United States dollar,
yeah.
right? I mean, Libya tried to do it, and then something happened to Gaddafi. I'm not exactly sure. And then Saddam
Iraq,
tried to do it
yeah.
with France, and then something happened to Saddam. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well,
that-
luckily he had weapons of mass destruction, so we
Yeah.
could kill two birds with
Confirmed.
one
Yeah,
stone.
Exactly. We were doing the right thing twice, but
100%.
I'm just saying, like, if there was a country that was even thinking about selling the yuan,
Yeah.
you know, or selling oil in the yuan with Saudi Arabia, they must have misspoke when they said that. They're like, we're talking to Xi Jinping and we're thinking about maybe selling. If they were thinking about doing that, like, God forbid.
Could it be that your president can't figure out the smartphone? Could it be that? Like,
You're
I'm
right.
just saying because it's like an iPhone 17 or something.
You're right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He could be calling and doesn't know how to do the plus. When you call,
Oh, the other
Yeah.
plus is tough.
Biden
bro.
doesn't know how to plus.
Plus is tough.
Okay, here's a question, and I say this with respect.
Yeah.
Like, the big joke that everybody's talking about is he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
He's so old.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you rather that he just didn't know where he was?
Yeah.
Because in my experience, leaders who do know where they are
It's a problem.
don't work out so well. Like, so I prefer the guy who doesn't.
I think that they want him there for that reason. And I think that he's a little bit easier to control. And I think that in America, we think that like the president has this authority. And I think maybe Trump actually had a little bit more of that than the average person. But like, you're a representative of a group of investors that basically control the trajectory of America. Just like I imagine most developed countries, this is how it works. And he's representative, but now we know that he's not actually doing anything.
So is it Kamala Harris? Is like she running stuff? No. She's not your next
I
president?
think the idea, well, whoever the next president is, I think the idea is there's people we don't see that are actually running things, and they're telling the people that we do see what to do,
Which is
and think and
kind of
feel.
what we want.
You just want people running stuff, back channel,
I think
all of
the
that stuff.
average person doesn't want to think about all this shit. They want to complain about politicians and bitch and moan, myself included, right? Oh, fucking Trump this and Biden that and fuck Kamala Harris and fuck Nancy Pelosi. We do it all the time. I'm guilty of this more than anybody.
Yeah.
But deep down, low key, I'm like, I hope some really smart people are dictating the course of American history and future.
Yeah.
Like I truly deep down, and if you got to listen to all our fucking phone calls, and I know there's people listening right now, oh, Andrew, what a fucking cuck, how could you say this? You also hope that. Because you don't want some insane 90-year-old man who clearly does not know where the fuck he is actually making the decisions.
Yeah.
You really want Biden making all the fucking decisions?
None of
You're
these
out of your
politicians-
goddamn mind.
But then are you hoping for that to happen with sort of a safe sense of security, and that whoever's running this shit, whoever's making these decisions, we're still going to be okay because we're America?
That's what I want. That's what I want.
But
And
do
my
you believe
fear-
that? Like, no matter who it is, you're going to be okay no matter what?
My fear is that I'm losing confidence in the people steering the ship. Let's assume it's not Biden. Let's assume it's these other people. I'm losing confidence with people steering the ship because it feels, at least right now with this conflict, that we don't have the same respect globally that we commanded in the past. And that was maybe we had insane motherfuckers back in the day who were just like, yo, you're going to get invaded. Yo, you're not doing what we want you to do. It looks like your people are upset.
Do you genuinely feel like you don't have the same respect globally?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah?
When I hear that Saudi Arabia, of all places, isn't answering the phone, Saudi Arabia, there should be one man with his hand on the phone like this all day, 24 hours a day.
Just waiting to pick up?
If it's a butt dial, hello, America, how can I help you? Sorry, it was a misdial. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I have a question. All right, I get that the not having to think about it and going to bed safe under the assumption that it's going to be okay if you don't think about it is the promise of America, right? In a certain sense.
Yeah.
So,
well said.
So I understand that. And that is
Things
literally
are going to be okay.
Yeah. So I think cluelessness or the ability to just breathe is your freedom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Without having to think about that shit.
Yeah.
Could it possibly also be, now there's like a fashionable way to look at this across the world, which is that America's kind of like the mean girl from high school.
That point you made is really great. Can you just juxtapose that to what it's like in maybe some other parts of the world and why that is such a luxury?
It is a big luxury.
But explain that to people who might...
Because I think in many countries in the world, not having to think about it or not thinking about it means it will directly impact your life within a week.
Every day you have to think about it.
So sometimes, you know, like when I talk to Western comics or whatever, they're like, why don't you just talk about like lighthearted stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in comedy, you talk about what's directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And where I live and in many areas in the world, what's directly in front of you is reasonably more tragic than what's directly in front of you in other places because you don't have to think about it that much.
Yeah, you get to talk about your kooky story of going to get coffee or whatever.
So I get that, right? Yeah. Now, the fashionable global view, and I don't hold it, is America, Britain, and Europe are the mean girls from high school, right? And now you're pissed off at the reunion that everybody else is kind of doing well and has kind of moved on. But I don't think you lack respect. I think that everybody else has more respect now. I want to submit that humbly.
Talk to me.
You know,
I like this.
You know, I don't think you're still the largest economy in the world. You're still the largest military in the world. You're still, at some level, a country with a conscience that drives a moral compass in the world. Everybody gets that. But I think, you know, in India, there's a saying called "Apna time aayega," which is, our time has come. Like, we're grown up now.
Yeah.
You know, we're 80 fucking years old. And many other countries, like, we got shit to do now. You know, we're holding the baby that was given to us. So, you know,
you have to make your own decisions.
We have to make our own decisions. And maybe we don't have time to come to the phone right now.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
I don't like that from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, maybe that's a better one. I don't.
And
like
also, so much of our economic stronghold is oil for dollars. If you're going to try to do that for the yuan, if it's going to be oil for yuan, that makes China that much more formidable. And I don't, based on what we know here about China, Andrew says this all the time. You can complain about the American empire. It's not been perfect. But I promise you, when the Chinese empire comes, you're going to miss ours.
Oh, yeah, 100%. For sure.
100%. But like, specifically with the dollars for oil, like this is what backs up our dollar. It's what gives it value. You know, if 80% of oil, at least from Saudi Arabia, is sold in US dollars, like this is what replaced gold essentially. And it could really push the yuan to the forefront of global currency if all of a sudden it was backed. And that would be incredibly detrimental to, you know, every bit of fucking dollars that we have saved up in the bank right now.
Until we all figure out that Vladimir Putin created cryptocurrency just to fuck with us. Now, and then everything collapses.
Now,
anyway.
do you think, is that the...
I mean, I'm excited about cryptocurrency because like India is the largest crypto market in the world, just by the way. Like just in terms of we're like decentralized money that we can make without regulation. Let's go. So I think...
it's got to be CIA,
I don't think there's a big conspiracy behind it. I know a lot of it just feels like fraud. Like, you know, just like, you know, just in
chill,
terms
though.
of,
I mean,
you know,
chill. Chill. Some of us have,
Akaash is all big into crypto.
Some of us have more than others. Yeah. I'm a big guy, crypto guy.
How many Bitcoin do you have, if you don't mind?
Too many to say publicly.
All right, cool. I like money under the mattress. I'm kind of...
That's very Indian of you.
Yeah, that's very, very Indian. Like I like money under the mattress.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like everything is like too good to be true. Something will collapse with crypto soon. I don't know why. I just feel like that.
I think you're seeing it right now with NFTs, right? Having the prices of NFTs come down drastically.
I don't know. Everybody keeps talking about something called stoner cats. Like that's the big
The
thing.
new meme stock.
Yeah. Have you guys
like-
apparently it's worth like $8 million in like 24 hours or something.
Oh, this
like
is
that.
an NFT.
It's an animated series that's also an NFT.
Yeah. I
Like
don't
Chris
know.
Rock is in. I think he voices something
really?
in it. Yeah.
Oh, I think Mila Kunis, did something with this. I
So
think
that,
she
like that's the
created
big
it.
example, right? Because for us, like artists across the globe, we're thinking about, is there a way we can circumvent censorship?
Mm-hmm.
And is NFT and crypto that way?
Mm.
You know, it could be very interesting to say, can I put this piece of uncensored content out, but you never see it on Netflix, you never see it on Amazon because they wouldn't touch it anyway. You only catch it on NFT or crypto. Like that would be kind of
You
cool.
put it in the metaverse, pay me in NFT or crypto or whatever.
You know, that could be kind of cool. But I just feel like I don't know if it's reliable. Just
Again, this is an interesting insight into comedy in India versus comedy in America, because we're not that worried about censorship. Is almost a tool for us. Like there's comics who make their career off of, and I think we've done it at times too. Hey, they're trying to cancel us, and that's it. And let me just ride that wave for as long as that goes. Oh, you can't cancel me. But there, it's like, nah, you legit will have shows shut down.
Yeah.
You legit will get thrown in jail. You legit got to worry about censorship. Here, it's almost a tool.
I think here it's like pressure to self-censor, right? Like it's just like enough internet pressure to self-censor yourself next time. But like we have official channels that it's not a fair game.
Yeah, that was an actual question I wanted to ask you also, is you deal with actual censorship, and then you see us censoring our own free speech with people being outraged by speech. And I mean, like, you can't say that. Do you look at that as like, that's crazy? Or that's you're wasting this gift that you have that is freedom of speech? Or do you look at it like, no, you guys are just putting buffers on?
Yes, I look at it like it's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
And that I would give a lot for the kind of freedom that you guys have. And I wouldn't let other people's opinion of me make me censor myself.
I think the censorship thing here is do you want to do stuff with the industry or not? If you don't want to do stuff with the industry, you don't have to worry about censorship. It's like, do you want to make millions of dollars for a special? Then you have to worry about it. So it's really censorship for money. That's our issue. Right? You know, so it's like, if you want to put your stuff out on YouTube, YouTube's really not going to censor you. And like, if you put maybe a small disclaimer, matter of fact, there's like rules for YouTube that show like, if it's a joke, it's okay to break certain standards that they have.
Yeah.
Because they understand that like satire is important. So like there are platforms where you could put your shit out and you're going to be fine. But if you want to make millions of dollars, then maybe you're going to have to switch some stuff up. So it's more like a function of greed in a lot of ways.
I think so, but isn't it also like, because you guys have always been like outside of the system and now you are the system, right? So you put your stuff on YouTube, you kind of do your stuff yourself on Patreon. Like, I don't think you get to know anymore what's going to drive people up the wall. You know, and I think having to think about it will drive an artist crazy. I think that will shut down artistic evolution like instantly if you even start thinking about that. Like, because at least I come from a country that's so large where there's so many things you could get upset about. Like if you sat down to actually second guess yourself, you would go fucking insane.
Yeah. And often those are the things you want to write about.
Right.
Like,
There you
that's
go.
the fun stuff.
So I don't even think that's possible here anymore because there's so many varying opinions on like any piece of comedy.
Yeah.
But what I do like is, you know, there used to be I did my jokes, you like them, you didn't like them, fuck you, I'm going home, I'm on to the next city. Yeah. That doesn't exist anymore, right? So now it's a conversation.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take their money, you have to honor the conversation a little bit. So if you bought a ticket to come see my show, if you paid money online to watch my shit, I have to honor your end of the conversation to a certain limit. Does that make sense? But but starting to think about what's going to upset you will shut me down. I'll never grow as an artist.
Yeah. You have to create a vacuum. Like, this is how you feel, and then put it out. But yeah, they should be allowed to react to your work. It's not like you're not allowed to react. You're allowed freedom of speech as well.
Yeah.
Speak on what you saw. Sure, that's fine.
I got some great advice from somebody when I was trying to write about everything that happened, and they were like, content can become controversy, but controversy should never become your content. Like, then you're doing a disservice to yourself as an artist. So like, because the big thing is now, what will I put out next post this whole debacle, right? Thinking about, for me, I mean, but if it suddenly seems like a reaction video or a response video to everything that you went through, I feel like you're not growing and you're stuck in a moment in time as an artist. So to have like non-reactive comedy is the challenge. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Did you feel that way about Chappelle?
I I mean, I saw your podcast on Chappelle, and I agree with you in that had he ended it 15 seconds earlier.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Like that was
Mic
just
drop.
yeah. You know, it's like Jennifer Lawrence, I think that's her name, right?
Yeah.
She falls a lot, right? And sometimes she'll do interviews and she'll be like, "Oh, I fall. Everybody knows that I fall." And I'm like, "No, nobody knows that you fall."
Yeah, you're bringing
like
this
there's
up.
an entire world that doesn't know that you fall. So if you fall, tell me that you fall, and we can have this conversation. That's the only thing I felt about Chappelle's thing, where I was like, he assumed that everybody knew that what he was going through.
Yeah, when there's
a
large group of people
gigantic world out
who are just
there.
like, yo, that guy's hilarious. I want to see him be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my only piece of feedback is if this was my first time watching your special, I just didn't know about all of this stuff. And you're my idol and take me someplace new. And if you're taking me there, explain why.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Because he deals with so many people who don't know what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like, he knows so many people who don't know Chappelle.
Yeah.
To us, it's insane that you wouldn't know Chappelle.
Yeah.
But you're in a country with 1.3 billion people.
Who don't know,
And 1.25 billion of them don't know Chappelle. And that leaves 500 million that still know Chappelle. But, you know, there's like, I think that's a great insight.
and also, I mean, it's A, some of us don't know, and B, sometimes it's a good defense as well. Like I was at the Cellar 2 nights ago, and so I'm kind of enjoying that, right? Just getting to be in a comedy club, hang out with other comics, and get tags and get feedback. I don't get to do that a lot. And I was sitting next to this lady, and she was like, "I saw your set; it was funny, etc." And I was like, "So what do you do?" And she was like, "I'm on Saturday Night Live."
Yeah.
And I just didn't know. So I'm like, I'm just going to go with this because I'm from India. I'm like, "Oh, what is Saturday Night Live?" And I made her explain to me what Saturday Night Live was. And I just went full Indian dad. I was like, wow, they must work you really hard.
Yeah.
That's a lot of improv. That sounds scary, just knowing what it is. But we don't get that over there. So sometimes it's a good defense as well, just to be like, we don't know.
To plead ignorance.
Yeah.
To be the fish out of water. Yeah. It's like the Borat thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like Borat could literally do anything he wanted.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, he's not from here.
And also he comes from like a pre-woke era. You know what I mean? Like, he was dressed like 1981.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think that was very smartly, like intentionally done.
Yes.
Where you have to feel like this guy traveled not just from Kazakhstan or wherever, but like
from the past.
From the past. Like he has to come in from a pre-woke era of the world. And then you buy that shit. I was, did you see Borat 2?
No. Oh, no, maybe I did.
I tried.
I was, that lady, Maria Bakalova,
Yeah.
is like super talented.
Yeah.
Like she's, I got to work with her and she's like,
She got
amazing.
nominated for an Oscar for that.
She got nominated for an Oscar while we were on set. It was kind of a cool moment to witness. Like they gave her a call and they're like, "You're nominated for an Oscar." It was nice.
Is it important to you to be famous here in America?
It's not important to me to be famous.
Respect.
In America or period?
Yeah.
In general.
Or successful.
I think...
Like, let me rephrase it. You know how there's certain people like they want to make it in America.
Yeah.
And I'm not from anywhere else, so I don't have this feeling like, and I'm also maybe from the biggest and stand-up hub in the world, but like, it's not important to me to like be the biggest in England. It's not important to be the big. If people there love my stuff, that's great. But like, I want my success to be at home. But I often think that that there are people from other countries that like making it in America validates them in a way. Like, oh, you went and made it here. Do you feel that way? And is that important to you?
No. So like nobody does fame better than India. I just want to put that out there. Like fame in India is very good. And I think earlier on...
Why is that? It's just
like if you're into all the trappings of fame, which is entourages and people pampering you and flying whatever, and just everybody just whatever you yell, it shows up. Sandwich shows up. Whatever. If you want that, like nobody does fame better than India.
Yeah.
Stardom in India is fantastic at all levels.
I don't know as much as you, obviously, but have you seen David Letterman when he interviews Shah Rukh Khan, who's probably the biggest Indian actor maybe ever? Yeah. But he goes outside of his house every day and just says hello to, I don't know, thousands of people just waiting to say hello to him in the morning. Not privately. He gets a wave from the balcony. He gives a wave, and they're all like, "Oh my God, we saw him every day." That's his day.
So I mean, it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
like whoever your most Kardashians, I don't know who your most famous person is.
Yeah.
It gets 10 times better in India. And I think if you're fortunate and God's been kind to find some level of being known early on, you get to lose yourself for 5 years in that and just be an asshole. Everybody's entitled to that, right?
Yeah.
To have your big entourage and personal people, just, 5 assistants with green drinks or whatever, 2 cell phones, whatever your thing is, you get to do that.
Yeah.
And then if you're lucky, you figure out that it's in your way.
Yeah.
And you get to reject it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm...
Luckily, the box office rejected you too. So
But I'm saying at some point I was like, what am I going to write stand-up about?
Yeah.
If I keep doing this shit.
Right.
So now I kind of respect you guys for that reason. My next 2 films, I'm producing. My next 2 series, I'm producing. My next special, I'll direct. It's just kind of like, I'm not going to wait for this market to know how to use me. I'm just going to bet on myself.
And you're a thoughtful guy, man. For India impressed me so much. The way you had everything set up, even drinking out of... So if you guys, we're always drinking out of water bottles. Veer's drinking out of a chai cup that you get like from the street vendor. Like everything was done very thoughtfully, and I really respect.
Thank you,
so
man.
I'm excited to see what you put forward because I loved For India and the way you did it. I was like, man, this guy thinks through every degree. It reminds me of how you think through every single aspect of what you're doing.
Yeah.
He thought through every aspect of what he was doing.
I like that. Though.
So to answer your point, no, my goal right now is to scare the fuck out of myself. Like
Good.
just to put myself in atmospheres that I don't know how to exist in. And America is one of them. I just want to get good. That's it. I just want to get good.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. I just feel like sometimes there are people who think that like if they make it in America, it validates them. And it's like, I get that if you're coming from a place where stand-up doesn't exist or you can't even make a living doing it. But I don't know, and maybe I'm spoiled, but for me, it's like, it means a lot to me that the people that I'm talking about, the people who I'm representing and the lives that I'm speaking to embrace me. That to me means a lot more than... I'm the biggest comic in England. Okay, that's cool. That's cherry on top. But if I was the biggest comic in England, but like nobody at home fuck with me, to me that wouldn't be successful.
I mean, look, it's tough enough to crack one country, right?
Yeah.
To get people, but I just think you need enough people who like what you do
Yeah.
to come and see you everywhere in the world. Luckily, there's a lot of fucking Indians everywhere you go in the
That's
world.
true.
So touch wood, ticket sales are okay.
Yeah.
But I do know that if I work hard, I can offer something different.
Yeah.
In that sometimes when Indian accents or Indian voices come over to America, it tends to be a lot of the big buildings and it's all amazing and it's so different back home, etc., etc. But I think maybe to see an Indian accent be like, no, I'm going to take you back home.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you some new shit.
Yeah.
Chappelle, you take me to Ohio and I don't know anything about Ohio. Let me take you to the suburbs in Mumbai and show you some shit. And now you go on a journey with me.
Yeah. That's fire.
I'd like to be that guy if I work hard.
Yeah. That's fire. Well, shit, man. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Veer.
for coming, man. Big
Thank
fan.
you, man.
Great
Really
to have
appreciate
man.
you, man. And tell the people where they can find you if you're doing shows, if you Instagram, YouTube, all these different things.
I'm at Veer Das on Instagram. I'm at the Veer Das on Twitter, not because I'm arrogant, because Veer Das was taken.
It's VIRDAS.
VIRDAS. VeerDas.in is the website, and I'll soon be in Houston and Los Angeles. Those are the 2 shows that need a push, so please come and see me.
I want you guys to go check out Veer, and I also want to commend AlexxMedia because before this podcast started,
You're an ass.
well, you did an amazing job. So Al just finds the Indian accent hilarious.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation where like, Al, you can't just laugh when he's talking about serious shit just because it sounds hilarious.
I was biting my lip a couple times.
I saw a couple times.
But isn't it the same as like if you hear somebody speaking like crazy like Ebonics, you're like, ha ha ha, I can't believe you speak English like that way.
No.
No, I don't know. All right. I tried to come off less racist, but my bad.
Anyway, you did a great job. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah. Anyway, man, thank you so much, Veer. Hey, everybody go check out Veer and support Veer and keep doing your thing and let us know how we can help in any way.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, my brother.